Elizabeth Hurley has been in the headlines for her relationship with Billy Ray Cyrus, but before that, everyone was talking about her relationship with her son, Damian. It seems like these two have crossed boundaries several times, from filming intimate scenes together to taking endless bikini pictures and weird Instagram posts. Their relationship is strange, and honestly, their entire family dynamic is odd, especially with the way Elizabeth treats her son and uncomfortable moments with her nephew. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it. We're going to be talking about actress Elizabeth Hurley's bizarre relationship with her son, Damian. There have been really weird moments between these two publicly, and I mean weird, that we need to react to and discuss, because it seems like there's a boundary between mother and son that was crossed a long time ago. If you guys don't know who Elizabeth Hurley is, she's been in the press recently because she's actually dating Miley Cyrus's father, Billy Ray Cyrus. That's how she came onto my radar, because I didn't really know of her before. She starred in a couple movies, like Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery and Bedazzled. She also starred in a few other movies until she got into fashion and beauty. She launched her own beachwear line, and she served as a global ambassador for Estee Lauder. But now that you guys have an idea of why this woman is famous, let's talk about her son. This article reports that people have found Elizabeth Hurley and her son Damian Hurley's bond to be off-putting. After all, the mother and son pair have had a long history of saying and doing things that people find strange. I saw headlines of fans being upset with Elizabeth Hurley because she announced another controversial movie with her son that she was going to be a part of. I actually want to talk about this project. It came out in March 2024. The film is titled Strictly Confidential. Comment below if you've seen this. The film caused an uproar with viewers because of its provocative content, which was very inappropriate, especially for a mother and son project. After they got some bad press for this project, they actually promised to ramp up the explicit content, announcing that they have another project in the works. Ew. Not them getting criticized for pushing it too far, but then double downing when people were mad over it. One person writes on Twitter, "This is Elizabeth's new career, getting talked about for her odd relationship with her son. I'm sure the next film will be even more erotic, creepy." I want to take a moment to really talk about Strictly Confidential. This article writes that she actually dropped everything to appear in this erotic thriller. Damian was super excited that his mom was going to be part of the project. You could see that in certain shots, she's kissing up on a woman and doing things with the woman that just make me like, I have to look away. Now, keep in mind, this movie is rated R. And it's just weird. I'm going to actually blur. Yeah, we're going to blur all this because we're not going to get in trouble with YouTube. But they are doing, yeah, let's do a good blur so you can't tell. But let's just say this other woman's arm is getting all up on Liz, getting into her, you know, her Liz parts. And her son wrote it and directed it. Wow. She actually addressed her relationship with her son on a UK television show, Loose Women. She writes that he's a single child of a single mother, so we spent a huge amount of time together. The relationship we have is forged. It's very different than the one I had with my parents. So when people think that it's extraordinary that my son would film me in these particular scenes, it would have been absurd to film my mother or father like that. It's just mind-boggling. Okay, so she's acknowledging that it's definitely on paper a weird relationship. She said, "I made him, forced him to take my Elizabeth Hurley beach videos and photographs for a long time. So for him, seeing me in a bikini or a sarong is completely different than photographing my mother." She says she can understand why it could be very odd to others that her son has been directing her in intimate scenes for her new movie, but they insisted they still have a mommy and son relationship outside of work. As for Damian, he was quoted saying, quote, "I hate to say it, but it felt totally normal. I don't know what that says about us." Interesting that he doesn't quite understand his own dynamic with his mother.
Everyone's making quite a fuss about the steamy scenes you directed me in. Yeah, not cookies and aprons. What do you make of the noise? And be honest, did you have any reservations going into those scenes?
I mean, we just didn't have time to. You know, I mean,
wait, this is
shooting
Damian?
an independent film. Every second counts. Every minute matters. And all that's going on in your mind is, oh my God, how are we going to make the day? We're losing the light. There are mosquitoes dive bombing us. There are cicadas ruining all the sound tape.
Wait, okay. I'm gay. I'm allowed to ask this. Is Damian gay? That changes things, right? I mean, maybe not. Probably not.
But you know, I think that scene was one of 7 we shot that day. So we just didn't have time to.
It was the last thing on our minds.
It was the last thing on our minds. We just had to get the scene, make it beautiful, and get on to the next 12 scenes that day.
I mean, Liz claims that she felt safe. Sometimes when you have to do an intimate scene or emotional scene, you're really putting yourself in the hands of the filmmakers because it's out of your control. She says, but with Damian behind the camera, it felt really safe.
Okay, my favorite part of having you as my director was feeling very safe in your hands, knowing that I could trust you when a performance was right, and just to help out in anything that actors always need help with. My least favorite part was probably not being able to tell you off as I normally would as a mum.
As for Damian, he claims that he and his mother were perfectly fine shooting the controversial scene together. Damian stated later in the interview that they didn't use an intimacy coordinator when they filmed the scene since everyone was so comfortable. Damian also reflected on why he and his mom were so comfortable working on this kind of scene together in the first place. He said, I was speaking to a lot of my friends who were also second generation of parents in the industry. They say the exact same thing, that to outsiders it may seem totally strange and extraordinary, but for us, we've grown up with it in everyday life, so it's super normalized to them to see their parents like intimate with other people. It looks like this picture is of like maybe Barron and Melania Trump, and they're writing, it's giving this. This comment reads, Nepos always have some weird, twisted, incestuous stuff like this going on. Another person wrote, didn't they do a photo shoot together that people thought was a little bit, questionable? I swear I only ever hear about this guy because of the weird stuff he and his mom are always doing together. I mean, this is an interesting photo shoot. It does seem like almost like a romantic partner. Especially with her just like laying right on top of his groin. Now, in 2018, Elizabeth actually referred to her son Damian as her soulmate, which, maybe she's just very close with him. I mean, she did say that growing up, it was really just him and her. Sources close to Liz claimed that the intense bond she has with Damian has complicated past romances. Damian has always been Liz's number one, adding that any partner must gain his approval. This dynamic is said to have strained her relationships. Now, Liz has been linked to Billy Ray Cyrus, and it appears that Damian is supporting this relationship. He has met Billy Ray and approves of this relationship, so it's interesting. I mean, maybe he probably, he probably isn't too upset with the fact that he would be step siblings with Miley Cyrus. But I want to take it back to Damian. We've seen Damian in different aspects of Liz's life, like on her Instagram. A lot of people have reacted to the pictures that Liz and her son have posted to her Instagram. It's not normal for a 50-year-old woman to dress like that with her son. If you think it is, I would have a word. I'm also convinced that her son is probably gay. I don't know if that changes things, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being judgmental. Sorry if he's not. Maybe he's not. Who knows? Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, whoa. Could we get a zoom in on the face edit on Liz? Because yeah, that is a face app if I've ever seen it. We all know it. This was a picture that Damian posted to his Instagram when he was 16 years old, and there he is with his mother, who is 52 and in a maid's outfit. I'm assuming this is like some type of Halloween situation, right? I don't know why they're all sitting on the bed together, but one person writes, holy smokes, what an awesome photo. Another person added, too much attractiveness in one photo. He's handsome, but my eyes draw to the crazy cleavage. Another person added, when your mom steals the show. Wow. A few years after this, we got similar headlines. Liz Hurley, 59 at this point, called out for inappropriate behavior after showing off cleavage next to her son, who's 22. Now, honestly, I don't think this is probably the worst thing ever. I mean, she's almost 60 years old, so looks like she looks great, and he's showing plenty of cleavage himself too. One person said, awful dress on Liz. Does Damian ever have a partner, or is he always out with mommy? Another person writes, sometimes I get the feeling that she's still breastfeeding that bloke. Is bloke a bad word? I don't know. I think it means boy, right? That bloke. He just gives me the chills. Here's another picture of them together, and yeah, I mean, they definitely pair up together pretty well. They both have very low cut. Both low cut. Now, Damian's father, Stephen Bing, was a film producer. He's no longer with us, which is part of the reason why Damian and his mother are so close. In 2018, it was revealed that it looks like Damian was the one behind a bunch of bikini Instagram pictures Liz was posting. Maybe they went on to a vacation, and it looks like her son was the one responsible for taking all these pictures for her, which she's getting 300,000 likes on there. I mean, she does have over 3 million followers, so wow. Wait. Let's take a look at this caption. Getting a boost of vitamin D in the very early morning before the sun really puts its hat on. Interesting. Okay. Vitamin D. Emphasis on the D.
Who's taking these? And she says Damian is taking a lot of the candid ones.
People find this really controversial. You know, really, I mean, we're in the business. Show business has been a fundamental part of my life, my entire life. So to us, it's not a thing. You know, it's just part of business. She takes my photos, I take her photos.
But I'm
it's all the
relaxed
above.
in front of him too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's relaxing knowing someone's behind the camera who looks out for you, which was the same on this movie in a way.
Now, I want to give Damian a break for a moment because I want to talk about this rumor with Liz and her nephew. It's almost a rumor I can't even put into words. So I'm going to go ahead and just play a clip and react with you guys.
Here's a blind item that is allegedly about the disturbing and inappropriate relationship that Elizabeth Hurley has with her nephew, Miles Hurley. The nephew who shares a bed with this A-list actress is now being called a close family friend. And this related blind item from February of 2019 reads, the foreign-born former A-list model turned A-/B-list celebrity all of you know introduces her nephew as her nephew, but also as her quote-unquote friend when she knows someone will see them doing things that aunts and nephews shouldn't be doing. And this other related blind item from May of 2023 reads, after her nephew stopped sleeping with her, this foreign-born model/actress started sleeping with the nephew's friend. And the related headline reads, reintroducing Miles Hurley. Elizabeth's model nephew returns to the London scene after stabbing.
And that's not the first time we heard about Miles. There's been other posts with Liz and Miles, and it is creepy.
Happy Easter. This is where I remind all of you about my favorite celebrity Easter tweet of all time. And that was Elizabeth Hurley's in 2018, where she said, thanking God today that my nephew Miles is with us for Easter today. His wound is still oozing blood and he's alive and we're thankful. The knifemen who stabbed him are still roaming around London, perhaps around your loved ones. Happy Easter XX, with this very seductive photo of her pressed up against her nephew.
This person commented the first sentence was normal. The second sentence was visceral and gross. Third is worrying. Fourth is weirdly threatening. And then happy Easter. Wait. Okay, so I do want to switch gears away from Miles, which if you guys want me to talk about Miles and the stabbing incident, let me know in the comments below, but I kind of feel like you guys are going to pass on that. I don't know why, I have a feeling. But I want to go back to Damian for a moment, because earlier in this video, I did question whether Damian was, LGBT or not. I don't really know. I'm not going to say he's anything or the other, because I just got some intel that he could possibly be straight. So he might be a straight man, which again changes everything again. I feel like for me, at least, I don't know. But I did find a video that Blake Lively kind of weaseled her way into this video. Blake Lively, she just can't stay away from my videos. And in this one, it turns out that she took Damian out on his first date. At least that's what they said in an interview. Take a look.
I'd never watched Gossip Girl before I did, and I did season 5. So I didn't know who anybody was or any of their stories, which was really stupid of me. So I filmed the whole of my season having no idea what anybody was. I was playing the mature older lady who obviously had an affair with Chase Crawford's character, who was fantastic. They were all, the kids were great. I couldn't have liked them more. In fact, Blake Lively took my son, who was about 10 or 11 at the time. She took him on his first date.
Okay, so it's not a real date. People, come on. So at that point, he wouldn't even know.
Because he'd come to set with me, and she wrapped early, and I still had another few scenes to do. So she took him out for ice cream to this wonderful place on a hot date. It was very cute. First date, Blake Lively. It's all downhill from there.
That comment, it's all downhill from there, is hilarious. But that's all I could find about these two. I think there's a lot of context that we're not getting here, but there's also enough to where we are questioning and concerned, and people are a little bit put off. So I want to see what you guys think in the comments below, so leave your thoughts, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Honestly, also I want to say that this reminds me a lot of Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Johnson, I believe, or Sam Taylor, the older woman who was with the younger man. I know they're in an actual relationship, so it's not exactly like that, but kind of in the same ballpark, you know what I mean? But anyways, I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Bye, guys.